is what your character believes, how your character acts. If you want to learn more about our 7-point process, head over to lumen.tv/institute, and you can sign up there, check it out, see the online community, grow, and go deeper than beyond these podcasts into the weekly Q&As and even the one-on-one mentorship. I've been pondering ironic characters lately. Pondering during meal times, during the day, during pondering. It's a good thing to do, to ponder, especially when you want to be creative. And it helps to guide your pondering so you can get to something substantial quicker. So as my guide of pondering, I'm going to lean on Dr. Stan Williams' value action, value cycle. You can check him out. He's at moralpremise.com. He's got a blog and all kinds of cool stuff there. He talks about how a character's psychological values lead to what they physically do as characters. Basically, that's like saying a character, what they think, what's their values, like their psycho values, is how they're going to act. What they're thinking about, what they think is valuable is how they're going to act. So if they're not thinking good, they're going to they're not going to do good things to themselves or to others. But if they are thinking right, they're going to take care of themselves. They're going to take care of others. Using Dr. Stan's value action, value cycle, I started to ponder people who take part in a Black Mass. I'm no expert on the Black Mass, but I do know that it's a satanic ritual that is a mockery of the Catholic Mass, which was instituted by Jesus Christ. And so since Satan and Jesus are like at odds with each other, it kind of makes sense that the Satanists would come up with a mockery of the Mass, like an anti-Mass, so to speak, So the two of them are at war, God and the devil and his angels, and that war is manifesting itself here on earth. Makes sense. So there's kind of a value actions, value cycle going on. The irony for me is, why would someone who takes part in a Black Mass want Jesus Christ to be there? They hate him. They hate his gospel message, right? However, not only do they want Jesus there at their Black Mass, they need him there. It's the source and summit, the colossal of clout. The source and summit of the Catholic faith is the Eucharist. The summit of the Mass is the Eucharist. Pondering. What also is amazing to me is that these participants in the Black Mass believe the Eucharist is God. That's why they want him at the Black Mass, so they can desecrate him. Most Catholics, because of poor formation, don't even believe that Jesus Christ is truly present in the Eucharist. But the Satanist does. Pondering. When I think about a character who hates the truth and does everything to destroy the truth, at first I thought that was kind of exciting. But the more I spent on the Stan's value action cycle and seeing how those work, the character seemed more and more predictable. Like I just knew what he was going to do. I hate the truth. I'm going to destroy you. I hate the truth. I'm going to destroy you. I mean, yeah, you could dress up a Satanist and make him mysterious and multi-layered and some pious person and, win some friends and influence some people. But in the end, they're just a villain who everyone's just like, okay, you tricked me. Now I know who this person is, and now I just think that they're a character that I'm not related to, and I think they made terrible decisions, and what a waste of time. But if I keep pondering, I realize that Jesus Christ cares about this character. Jesus cares so much that he's willing to take a beating at the hand of a Satanist. I mean, that's incredible to me. I mean, let's face it, nothing happens without Jesus' permission, right? I mean, God is in control of everything. So something's going on there. I mean, I'm kind of interested in thinking about what would motivate a character to allow someone. I mean, it's love, of course. Okay, let's stick with the pondering, the original pondering.
Can't get lost in our
the
ponderings,
value
all right?
action cycle. Going back to the value action value cycle, the Black Mass character. What is it about them? What is worth rooting for? I mean, if they know the Eucharist is God and they don't change from trying to desecrate him, like at least acknowledge, like, oh man, what a dumb idea. How did I think I was actually going to win against God? Man, what was I thinking? Not some good career choices there. I mean, if they don't do something like that, then nothing I'm really going to like. I'm not having an emotional response, a connection with this character. It's just a tragedy. I mean, yes, the character is more ironic that, that believes in the Eucharist and hates God than just like this lukewarm person who is like, yeah, I love Jesus, but they don't do anything about it, That's even more bland. But that's kind of a big jump, figuring out the irony of a character. It seems very important not to take like huge steps, or our values of the character are not going to line up with the actions of the character. And then something's going to seem off and wonky to the audience. And then they're not going to believe he's doing what he's doing or why he's doing it. And that's it, the why. We got to get to the why. So the why has to be super clear, like the real why. Really, the Black Mass goer is only interesting if we figure out why he hates God. Like the only thing that gives him purpose, and that purpose loves him. But what a weird spot to be in. The time you spend pondering and getting to the real reason why your character does what they do is worth its weight in gold. Pondering. For example, you're driving down the road, you cut somebody off an accident, and that person gives you an unpleasant hand gesture. Well, you're probably just going to be mad at them or something like that, right? But that person is not really interesting, and you probably don't want to develop that in your story unless that person's important. But let's just say the only way to make that person interesting and like have your audience have an emotional response to that character is figuring out, well, why did they give you a hand gesture? Because they didn't do it just because you cut them off in traffic. There's something else going on. There's something else that like they've had a really bad day and you were just the icing on the cake in that moment. And maybe you're the one that does the hand gesturing. Well, you got problems going on. So if we're honest with ourselves, we realize, okay, there's something else deeper going on. And I think if we can tap into what's going on deeper, then how it manifests itself, the audience is going to go, oh, yeah, I deal with that. I'm a big fan of Stan, and I suggest you go to themoralpremise.com and check some of this stuff out, like his value action stuff and moral premise stuff. It'll totally help your writing and creation of all your stories. And remember, it's more important to live like you're in heaven than to make another movie. And the next time I see you, I want to see Christ in you. Pondering.